Oh, I'm sorry.
Michigan eventually decided that Mick Nichols wasn't right, but it was Nicholson from the Danelaw.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't it Danish when it ended up?
Danish, okay.
Yeah, well, which means the Vikings, invaders.
So we're not really English?
I'm sure there's
there
a
was
lot
some
of
English in there.
Yeah.
I will say, I went there, and Meg and I have our coloring is very Welsh. My coloring in particular, the dark eyes, dark hair, and that kind of light but still medium light skin tone, it's very Welsh. So it's interesting because I see that coloring now, and I'm like, oh my God, clearly there's some Welsh ancestry in there.
Yeah, Owen.
Yeah.
Well, where did
Nancy
the
had a
Danes
whole
come
page
from?
on
Where?
it.
Denmark.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweden, Norway, all that, Vikings.
Is that
And
private?
Skierman was
Is that private education you got?
what? What? If you're
Nothing.
digging me,
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't.
Well, it was so long ago too. I mean, how many of us remember the stuff that we were taught in junior high? It's ridiculous. There's this bit by, do you remember Father Guido Sarducci was? Do you remember that comedian?
Oh, yeah.
He was like an Italian Roman Catholic, very flashy. He had this one bit where he's like, he was going to open a university, and it was only going to cost, and this is in the 70s, so it was only going to cost like $5 to get your degree from this university, because the way he was going to teach was he was only going to teach you what you would normally have remembered 5 years after you graduated. 5 years after you graduate from college. So like he teaches you ¿Cómo está usted? Muy bien. That's it. He has a theology department.
¿Y usted?
No, that's it. No, ¿Cómo está usted? Muy bien.
¿Y usted? And you?
Yeah, no, but not even that, because you wouldn't remember that.
I did.
You did. He has a theology department because he's a priest, so he'd remember. So he was going to teach. Where is God? Answer: God is everywhere. Why? Because God likes you. Like that was going to be it. And there was a couple other things. He'd have like 30 seconds where he gives you a tiny thimble of orange juice and turns on a sun lamp, and that's your spring break. 20 seconds, like he times it, you got 20 seconds.
That's good.
A very clever bit.
That's Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
It was, I think he first did that on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. He was
it was
great.
Part of the Gilda Radner.
You can tell him I forgot about him, too. Gilda Radner, you always remind me of her.
Oh, thank you.
Stop. Well, with your routine.
We just...
Yeah, but that wasn't
Did
Gilda Radner.
You probably haven't gotten it. I think he sent it to Kathie. That he had put a bunch of, you said pictures, well, he got into his... She had stuff, and you might all have it, but you may not have it. The movies that he took, and some, I mean... The first thing on one of these things was the Easter egg things that I couldn't bring up because it's too far to bring.
Did you follow that?
The Easter egg thing?
Yes, the Baked Alaska.
Anyway, I had two links on there. She's talking about the first link.
I didn't see that one.
Okay, that has
It just came last night or something.
I think it's the one I did before, but you guys probably don't have it anymore. Now you can have it on YouTube, so you can
it's on YouTube.
Look at it.
Oh, okay, great.
So it's, I mean, the first one's almost an hour.
Well,
Baked Alaska?
No. I have the links. She sent it.
Do you remember when we all came up to your house in Brooklyn, and you and our kids went over to the park, and there was Cookie the dog, and then Gwen was playing piano, and you were doing something else in the kitchen, and then it was all, Easter dinner, and then it was your mother, and I thought there were two baked Alaskas. There were three, I saw real quick. 3 baked Alaskas on a platter.
I'll never forget that baked Alaska.
Yeah. I remember baked. I remember, now that you mention it, I remember
and
baked Alaska.
then we left.
Exciting.
And it was the funniest thing because we were leaving, going down and putting our stuff away and all, and then Mother came out, and Dad must have said something or whatever, and he goes to give her his hand to bring her down, and she just didn't want any part of that, because he must have said something snide or
yeah.
funny or something. You know, I can do it myself or something. So it was just funny. He talks about that, and then there was and then it went after that to Bermuda for the 50th
yes.
wedding anniversary, and you and Gwen you were doing Barbara Wawa. So but there's all this.
That Barbara Wawa,
I remember Bermuda.
she was doing the
Was
whaling
Was
song.
it whaling songs?
I'm sorry. Well,
Whaling songs.
that
I
is-
remember whaling songs.
Okay,
we did
whaling.
that twice.
With double knit
First one got
sweaters,
stolen.
acapella.
Acapella.
Yeah. But
Whaling sweaters.
it's back on like
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
regular 8 film that has been done, to a VH tape or something, to something
Right.
else.
Oh,
And so there are
Technology.
flashes. It's not good. It's not a
No, I
good.
can't
But
imagine that it would be.
well, so you could.
It's been so
you can
long
see
since I
and
heard
hear
that.
it.
It's so
And-
long since I heard that.
Yeah, and you see Buffy, and she was just looking like she was emaciated, and
She was very thin.
and that's
She just
and
was.
Sarah.
She was thin.
Yeah, Sarah was kind of like that too, and now she looks more like Buffy. Her hips are now only that far apart.
Right,
Sarah's
right.
She's still very thin, but
She's got a little bit of,
Mhm.
yeah.
Takes after me.
It's
Yeah,
after you?
yeah, not
Your
me.
Kirby woman
I've never been
is-
thin in my life.
What?
I've never been thin in my life.
You're thin now? What are you talking about?
I've always been,
No,
yeah,
I wouldn't call you fat.
yes,
Any of
I
that?
am.
I just know a lot more people that are really not quite fat than me. You know, one of those people.
So what are the people like over where you're living now?
In London, or in England rather.
Like boiled potatoes and steak.
Where we are is pretty, what's that?
Boiled potatoes and steak.
Oh my god.
Or sausage?
No, steak.
The food's actually good.
Really?
Should be.
I thought
Yeah.
everybody has gone to England and says the food's horrible.
No, the reputation is left over from basically World War II, because World War II they were eating roots that they found in the ground, and and spam
Yeah.
and mutton if they were lucky, and that was it, because their supply lines were cut off and all that stuff. So there's a lot of, and because the Americans came over during, when did we go over? Was it 41? Anyway.
Well, we got there.
Went over
41, yes.
41. We got there in 41, and people had already been eating roots and spam and very
well,
little else.
you
They've
know,
been bombed to death.
Yeah, they've been-
it's only what they could produce in.
Right.
in
It's
country.
what I just read a whole book actually that went into a lot of detail about how that happened. But so the GIs came and they had to eat the crappy English crap that was the best that they could do, scrape up some cans of spam and some whatever roots they could dig out of the ground, and it got this terrible reputation. Then GIs went back and were like, oh my god, the English food is horrible. But it's actually pretty good. It's very like meat and potatoes based, but meat and potatoes is quite tasty.
Have you had the kidney
I
pie?
have not had kidney pie. I don't care to have kidney pie.
See, you don't know
I
what's good
don't.
and bad.
What
about figgy pudding?
Well, figgy pudding is delicious.
Isn't that made
What's
with
that?
suet and stuff like that?
I think so.
It's sewage.
Sewage.
No, it's
So,
suet. Is it kind of
it's
like
just
lard?
basically fat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lard. Same as Crisco or whatever. It's this, same principle.
But isn't it more meat?
Yeah, but there's like Yorkshire pudding, which is very tasty. And
Oh, well, yeah.
scones.
Yeah.
They call them.
Real-
Scones are
scones?
awesome.
Is it
Scones. Yeah,
Really?
scones. You have a scone. And I'm always like, what?
No, what is scone? They call.
Scone.
No, I know scone, but how did they say it? Scone.
Scone.
Scone. Huh.
Scone.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and the baked goods are incredible. So I'm happy because baked goods are,
Good thing.
you know,
Good thing.
me and my ass are just pleased as punch. I was so stressed out from the move that I'd lost, and for the previous year and Ryan being deployed and the fire and everything, I'd lost like
Oh, I forgot about your
11
fire.
pounds, 11 or 12 pounds. I was starting to really skinny, to the point where people were like, Jen, are you okay? For me, like very ribs up here and stuff, and you know, get to England and
Fires are awful.
Oh.
I have a good friend. We were at a UC football game, and he left right after the game to go to Pennsylvania for his high school reunion.
right.
They get halfway there, and they get a phone call, your house is on fire.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So they turned around, they got all the way back, and this was in,
It was in August 31st.
no, it's like September.
Mm.
They just now got into the house after all that time.
What year was it?
This year.
This past year.
So we just got.
It happened last
week.
fall that the lightning
That's
hit.
actually not bad. It took us 10 or 11 months to get
Okay.
back into our condo. It was a condo building, to be
Yeah.
fair, but even so, that's actually not. That's really not too bad.
But see, when they had it, the guy said, "Oh, you'll be in by Thanksgiving."
Oh yeah, bullshit. Nobody should.
They just
ever,
got in.
That's terrible.
Yeah, they just delay.
It should
and
be like
delay.
it's going to be over a year. That way, when it's only 6 months, you're like, wow, it's only 6 months. You know, because it's takes
Have
forever.
you been over to your condo to see how?
I've been once. To meet the tenants.
Yeah, I mean, but you haven't, like, since you've been back, can you tell if they're taking good care of it?
Like I
or-
said, I was there once, like a month or 6 weeks ago, and it looks fine. Kind of looks fine. There's problems with the tenants themselves, with one particular tenant. There's 3 young women, like 19 and 20 years old, so this is their first apartment together. And one of them has a dog who's crazy and will run and kind of attack, or look like it's about to attack, you know, get really hyper protective. And it's a German Shepherd, so it's a big old dog.
Mhm.
And scare the hell out of a woman who was getting out of her car. Thank goodness her boyfriend was there. She's pregnant, so there was this like moment of, yeah. And she's been letting the dog run around the building, outside of the building, and just basically pooping everywhere. Yeah, and not cleaning it up. And so there's been, and they were, not anymore, but they were really, really loud, to the point where our upstairs neighbor, who is about the mildest man I have ever met in my life, very sweet, incredibly mild guy, went downstairs at 1:30 in the morning at one point, and he's a teacher, he's got to be up at like 6 in the morning, went down there and flipped out at them, and we had to send them. I had to call them repeatedly and send them, you know, emails repeatedly, and finally it got to the point where I was speaking with this one girl whose name is Daisy, who's like, she and I get along very well. She really likes the condo. She really wants to stay there. She likes the building, the whole, you know, she's very responsive to me. Whenever I call her, she calls me right back. Even when I think, oh God, the landlord's calling, it's very easy to just avoid the call and not call back and make somebody chase you. She would always call right back. She always responds. She's always open to talking. So she's great. I forgot what the point of that whole diatribe about Daisy was.
I got a
But
girl.
one wasn't.
Yes, Maria with the
I got a
crazy
girl
dog.
named Daisy. She always drives me crazy.
Yeah, there's Yada and Daisy and Maria, and they're young and they're stupid and they're learning. They're in the beginning of that learning curve.
Are they quieting down now?
They've quieted down. They've gotten too many warnings and too many, you know.
So you're the one that do people contact you because you're
Yes,
the owner?
people
and
have been contacting. They get in touch with them, and then in the immediate, like Michael will go downstairs and be like, "You guys have to turn shit down." But then we've gotten a lot of contacts from Michael and from the board, and finally they got in touch with us about the dog poop, and we're like, "If it's not all cleaned up in 24 hours, we're gonna have to fine you." And they did, and we passed it along to the tenants, and Maria, the owner of the dog, has not paid the fine. So while I'm here, I've got to get in touch with them. So, and Maria's one with the dogs being very unresponsive and not, she's just doing that whole avoidance thing. So the other
do they rent from you? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So you could kick them out though, couldn't you?
We could. I don't want to do that because it's just the one. You know, and I don't think we can just kick one out. I have to look over the lease and maybe get an opinion, but I don't think we're allowed to. I think it's kind of all or nothing by the terms of the lease. So there was rumor she was leaving, but then apparently she changed her mind. And
So the dog's still there.
dog's still there, but it doesn't poop all around the building anymore.
Well, next thing you got to put in your
that's improvement, I suppose.
in your rules, no pets. Right?
I mean, we could, but we had a pet. Other people have pets. It's pretty easy. You just put them on a leash and go walk them. You have a dog in the city. That's what you do.
That's right.
That's what you do. Sorry, this isn't the country. I don't know where you came from, but
even our neighborhood,
that I
everybody's got a
communicated with
leash.
them.
Right?
Yeah, you get a leash and you take a plastic bag and they
Right.
poop and you pick it up and you throw it away and you know.
Do you have
So
a
it
pet in England?
We do. We have 2. We spent tons of money getting them over there.
I was going to say, how did...
It's a lot.
But I think
of
I
money.
remember seeing or hearing something about Ryan's dog or something.
Yes, Mercutio. Mercutio is his name. Not my choice. My choice was Mr. Wigglesworth. But we went with Mercutio.
Mr. Wiggles was the cat?
Mr. Wigglesworth. That would have been the dog. That was the second choice for the dog. Mercutio,
Boston Terrier.
He's a little Boston terrorist. And
Terrorist.
Boston terrorist. Ryan hates that joke for obvious reasons. But yeah, he's a real pain in the ass, that little dog. Mom hates him.
Why?
Dad hated him. Because he's a jumper and a licker, and he's a digger. He was bred to be a digger, get weasels and stuff like that. So he's got these long claws that are always sharp and pointy and scrape you and scratch you, even if they've just been trimmed. It's very hard to keep up with them. And he was very enthusiastic in his love for Grandma Bear or anyone.
Leaves these hideous bruises.
Yeah. Oh God, he practically maimed Dad.
Yeah.
I felt so bad about that. But Dad was being so patient.
Oh.
But
Greg and Amy and the girls, they have 2 golden retrievers. And, and they rescued each one of them at different times.
right.
And Riley, the first one, is milder and very happy to see you, but doesn't necessarily jump up. Now Nelson, he just can't get into his head that you don't do that.
Right.
And he's just, and stop it, and they're holding him, and
Right.
it just,
He just spins around.
And then
Right.
I
That's our
learned last
dog.
fall, turn around, and he keeps turning around and keep going till you get tired.
That's our
And
dog
then
too.
finally he collapsed.
That's
and
our dog
see,
too.
it's just, if you just did that to begin with, you'd be fine.
You'd be fine, right? Mercutio will do the same thing if he gets, especially if he hasn't had enough stimulation or exercise. He'll suddenly kind of, the light goes on, the crazy dog light goes on behind his eyes, and he'll run as fast as he can, and we're always like, go, keep going. And he'll just keep running, and we're like, come on, keep going, don't stop now, come on. And then eventually he'll wear himself out, and he'll be like, oh.
Tucky has Ginger was a terrier, but what's that terrier that is weird on this, the fur, or no, it's hair, it's like sparse.
I don't know.
Is it Jack Russell?
Yeah,
The Jack Russell Terrier?
yeah,
Those
that's
are awesome
what it is.
dogs.
I don't
Need
know.
a lot of attention.
Yes, I mean,
Terriers are
I'm not sure that it's such a great dog if it needs that much.
No,
and
it needs
much.
a lot. Terriers need a lot of attention, a lot of stimulation. They're really smart. Mercutio learned how to untie shoes. He taught himself how to untie shoes. So if you're not paying attention and you're standing and talking to somebody, you look down and he's sitting there like this, and your shoes are all untied. Little.
Oh gosh.
Remember Wendy?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good dog.
It was a chicken killer.
A chicken killer?
Mm-hmm. She went off down the road one day, and somebody let their chickens out. You know,
Chicken?
Devon State Road one did not associate with chickens, but there was somebody who had a
Chicken? I didn't hear
you know,
about that.
small,
A little coop.
a little coop. And when Dad heard about it, which of course was about 3 hours later, there was war declared. And the dog had the chicken tied around its neck
Oh my
for the
God.
next 3 or 4 days.
Oh
Really?
my God.
It's
That's
supposed
horrible.
to be one of the ways of curing a dog of that kind of behavior.
Did it?
My memory is it did.
Oh my
Huh.
Barbaric.
God, that's
Who thought to do that, Dad or the other person?
Dad, I'm
Probably
sure.
Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know that the dog went after other dogs that were, I mean, you didn't walk a dog, they just went all over the place.
Right.
And that something about Jeannie, and he would protect Jeannie, and if she was having a sandwich outside and dropped a crust, if another dog went to get it, there would be a fight from
Right.
Not only
Right.
that, but if, you know, an actual incident happened with that, they were on the other dog's property.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the other dog said, well, it's my property, it hit
Right,
in my
right.
house, I'm for it. And Wendy said, no, it's my person, it's mine. And that dog would fight down, you know, groups of dogs. And after that, they were all perfectly happy.
Yeah. And then I heard something, and I never saw it, about a Great Dane.
2 Great Danes.
There were 2, but did Wendy tackle both of them?
Simultaneously,
No way.
in their cage.
What kind of dog was
In their
Wendy?
I thought they were
Wendy
all...
was a Kerry Blue, which is an Irish fighting dog.
Oh, okay.
No,
So they're bred for that.
yeah,
Well, this one was like not the... I think they got this, well, there was one, and then they got another one, because the first one died. And I think we got Wendy because maybe the ears weren't perfect, and maybe it wasn't as good
they're a beautiful looking dog.
Yeah, they really
From
are.
the point of view of someone who's looking for to own a dog, they have hair rather than fur, so it doesn't drop out.
Yeah, you had,
And they have,
you
they have-
clipped them about 3 times, 2 or 3 times, no, 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah,
That, you know, I would get one
And-
again,
and-
except that it scares me when I think of how they were very territorial. I mean, they were great guard dogs,
Sure.
yeah.
but they didn't look it at all. Just
Right.
like your terrier might not look like a guard dog.
He
but-
does. He totally looks like a miniature guard dog, like a
Yes.
miniature version of. He's only 25 pounds, but he's like, you know, he's a tough little guy. He thinks he's a tough little guy. He's got a snaggle tooth too, so he's like.
I keep saying maybe we should get a pet. No. We can just go, turn the door now and leave.
Mhm.
Was Wendy,
That was it.
Gwen's got her name or what?
Yes.
Well, not really. I mean, we were trying to come up with a name, and Nancy Van Winkle's, one of her best friends that lived next to her, her name was Gwen, and they called her Gwendy. But we were going back and forth. If you had a girl, what was going to be Michelle? We liked it. Miss Michelle Elmore was just too many E's and L's, you know. So I think Gwen, when I came up with Gwen, and you like Gwen Verdon.
What am I doing?
The carpet is loose in the back.
Oh,
So it's gonna do that.
Yeah, but he's and he's
Don't worry
pushing
about
it forward.
I'm just relaxing.
I don't know, it's all right. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just weird. So.
Do you guys want anything like a snack or something? We've got some.
No, we had
apple
some
pie.
Popeye chicken.
Oh, did you?
Actually, we shared one. I said, oh, it was too expensive. We'll share a three-piece thing.
We only went in to go to the restroom. We couldn't find a
Well, I
spot to
thought-
stop all the way from the end
Well, I
of the
thought,
door.
well, we're here. We'll just have some chicken. It was pretty good, you know.
It's
Except it
not
had
fried chicken.
it had lots of, you know. I pulled all the stuff off of it because skin
You're
is
in the
so
sun,
thin.
aren't you?
I am in the
Yeah,
sun. The
it's
sun is
warm.
me in the sun. It's a little too much.
Kathy,
Nothing.
when we were in Florida, on our way down, we saw a friend of mine, Barbara Minsker. I don't know if you remember her from
Remember her
Baldwin.
name.
Yeah. And who was visiting her for the week was Joni Cater.
Oh.
You know, young Joni, Betsy and Joni.
We had dinner with him.
And we had dinner with them on our way down, and then kept going on. We had a few stops on the way, and she was talking about our parents and and I was wondering if you remembered she thought that they met maybe on their honeymoons or something. Do you know if anything?
In New York.
In New York.
That's where they met.
Who met?
Caters.
The Caters,
Oh,
the
the
parents.
And the Nicholsons.
Fred and Aunt Lib and Uncle Fred.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know this?
Never heard it before, it's
Me-
possible.
Yeah, I
That's
you
where they
know,
met. In New York.
Yeah.
Realized they lived
close.
Close
And,
by.
Right next to
I
each
mean,
other.
see, this is a family that was in Devon, and, you know, our parents were when 14, 16 people got together, they were
Right.
always there, but also Christmas Eve, we spent every Christmas Eve with them.
Right.
And one year it was at our house, and the next year it was at their house, and so we went back and forth.
Right.
And I was just wondered if you knew anything.
Never
or,
heard a word.
You know, anything like
Yeah.
that, I don't know.
I'm not even, let's see, they were in Philadelphia for Dad's, you know, residency and probably internship too, yeah, because he went to the University of Pennsylvania Med School. I don't know where they got married, you know, in that timeline.
Yeah, see, this is one thing, I guess talking to Joni, trying to figure out things, and I thought, you know, I really don't know the sequence. I know I was born when Pop-Pop was, or Grandfather Far to you.
Grandfather Far?
That's what you used to call Grandfather Near and Grandfather Far. The Near was the Biddles, and the Grandfather
I don't
Far.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Well,
the
that was
near
when
and far.
little.
Okay.
Your mother, I can hear her smiling now.
No,
You
it
don't remember
it
that?
sounds like a Jenniferism.
Oh.
Does it?
Oh, yeah, because you called grandfather Near as well as, you know, let's see, something about Beacorn.
Acorns, beacorns. I remember calling Grandpa Biddle Granddandy.
Yeah, and Granddad. Right.
Granddandy.
Yeah.
We loved that.
Your facility with words was even unto, you know, a year old.
I'm awesome. It's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, it is warm.
But I don't know. I was born right after our dad, went to war. So he never saw me
Mhm.
until
Right.
apparently I was almost 2.
Wow.
And then I heard about something about me throwing up all over him the next day on the way to Atlantic City, or I don't know. So I lived for the first couple of years with Kathie in New Brunswick.
Right.
But then the only thing I know is then we lived in Broomall. But what happened between Broomall and, do you have any idea? I mean, you were 2.5 years older,
That must
but
have been the time when, you know, we were living. No, that must not have been the time because Dad was already a doctor
yeah.
and in the Army.
So before you were born, before I was born, they were in Philadelphia
Right.
in residency and stuff. But
Yeah.
but as far as what happened, was he before he got in the medical ship? You were born in 40. He left in 43, like January, February. I was born in March, so it was right before that. And so he went away. So he, you know, I'm not sure. But even when he came back, let's say 45, beginning of 45 or end of 44, whatever it would have been.
45.
You know, do you remember something, why did they go to Atlantic City? Was there a base there? Did you ever remember living there, or you were still too young to remember, probably?
A, still too young. B, there was a base, not in Atlantic City, but it was the blimp base. But I think they went to Atlantic City for the usual reason, to get away from their parents.
Yeah, but we were with them.
We were with them. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
How do you know that?
Because people talk about how the next day I threw up all over him on the way to Atlantic City. Maybe it was just a trick.
Probably on the way.
But,
leaving from
but I just, you know, like what happened from when I was 2 to when we lived in Broomall. Do you know how long we lived in Broomall? In 50, we moved to Devon. But I don't know if we were in Broomall for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I don't really know. I just don't know.
My guess is 2 to 3 years.
I remember people that were older than I am, you know, I played with on the street. There were little houses, and they all went to school. But my birthday was in March, and so I missed, I think the cutoff at that point might have been the end of December, end of January. And all of a sudden, you know, I didn't have anybody to play with then.
Right.
There were some pictures of
I have a
us.
question, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Where was Pop-Up stationed during the war?
He was in India and Egypt.
I have a whole bunch of pictures.
There's a picture of him on a camel.
I think I'd heard that and I just forgot all about
By the
it.
pyramids.
India, where in India?
Yeah, I have the pictures framed in the bedroom.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
And
Was
I
stationed
brought,
in India during World War II?
He was in India.
no, India, and yeah, and he was on a medical ship.
It was a ship.
That was coming back.
Oh.
That was coming back.
Well, he told me he was in India and
Right, and
Egypt,
Egypt.
but I don't know. He could have been somewhere else.
I mean, there was,
Right.
I brought, you said pictures, and I knew that Jeannie had given me,
That's a neat picture, though.
Oh, it
It's
is.
4 guys.
Yeah.
old Spearman, and there's other ones of pictures, so these are the ones that Jeannie said, after she picked through what she wanted. And you probably have this too, do you?
Oh no, she handed all those pictures to me.
Okay,
I still
well
have them
then-
in a plastic bag somewhere. I saved them from the fire and everything. That's a great picture.
But you'll see some stuff there.
Well, my parents had a fire also, and all my baseball cards got burned. I think
This is the Nicholsons.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
No, I know that one. Like the rest of them, I'm not sure I could guess, but like this is the
If
Spearmans,
you see
I
anything
guess.
that might be a picture of Grandfather
No.
Spearman, give it to me.
Yeah, I don't think
This is not
I
Pop-Up,
know,
is it? It's not
as
Pop-Up.
far as I can tell.
see, these are, oh, okay, yeah.
I'm trying to just winnow it down before I hand them over to Mom. Okay.
There were some people, Hector's, who's the one with the
Oh,
dark hair?
Berta.
Look at you. Oh, Mom and Jeannie and Berta. That's a good one.
Yeah, this is grandmother Nicholson.
I know.
Okay, all right. Holding court.
Yes, very
Remember?
much so.
That was at our house.
Miss Bride.
When for Kathie's probably debutante or whatever you call it.
Debutante tea?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, were you old enough there? Were you there? Or was that just a Christmas? Or she didn't, we always went to her. I only remember her coming to our house that I can remember that it was when Mother had a tea for you.
Is this you and Pop-Up and he's in uniform?
No, I think this is your mother.
Oh. He looks
I
I think that's Pop-Up.
I'm not sure
Yes.
where this is. I think it's at Nicholson's.
What? Let me see.
Is that somebody in blackface?
No, this is our house. Look at the tables and stuff. This is in the living room. And that's where she sat in the corner. And the fireplace is right here in the living room.
Hmm.
Now that might not be, let me see you. No, that was just a family, sometime that I just don't remember. They came over for whatever.
I don't, if,
It wasn't when you had your tea, obviously. It was a wintertime thing. It was just sometime when they were there, whether or not Mother had
Yeah.
people over for something.
yeah.
I don't remember.
But we're all pretty old, so it must have been, very close to debutante years.
See, now, this is Mother and Dad, but I don't know who these people are. I was wondering if Kathie did.
I can't get over that picture at all. I don't even...
And there's some of her going over on a boat. See, this is Mother.
Where's
I
Mother?
think she might be here. And this is, I think
Doesn't
this
look
is,
like her.
You don't,
No, that
are you
doesn't
sure
look like
you
her.
don't think? I thought
No.
that was her.
No. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
well, it doesn't look like her, but yet I thought it was the only one that could be her. Why would we
This
have?
one, does that look like your mother?
No.
Oh, wait, yeah, it didn't look like that to me.
It didn't either, but why would we have a picture in there if there wasn't one of her? And so,
Tons of
Boy,
pictures.
this is pretty fancy dress up.
I
but
know.
I think that's in the boat when she went over on the boat to, on, you know, whatever.
After her father died.
Yeah, and she went over to England with some friends or a family. And they were in, that's
Didn't
when
she
they
have that
would go
horrible
to
trip
dinner.
where she complained about the bathrooms, right?
I don't know, I don't
In
remember
Europe?
about that.
Yeah,
She had a full, all expenses paid trip to Europe during the Depression, and she complained about the bathrooms.
My mother did complain.
Complain a lot, yes.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Is that all right, if you don't mind?
That's better than,
She probably minds, but she's not gonna say anything, because she's too polite.
I never saw that before. That's cute. You and Glenn?
yes, right.
Where was this?
On the terrace in, Kent Road in Summit.
Oh, in Summit, see, I was never at the Biddle, so I don't know what.
I think you probably were once, but you don't remember it.
I don't remember being, but I do remember them taking for an engagement party up to a fancy place in New York City.
Yeah, top of the
Very
Sixes or something.
fancy, very elegant.
That sounds about right.
Uniform, fancy uniforms and dress blacks.
Yeah, check out, speaking of fancy uniforms and dress blacks, this one looks like Dorothy Parker's famous circle. But what's the deal with this guy who's in blackface?
That was common back in our era.
I guess it was. It's shocking to see.
When I was in junior high school, I went to Withrow High School, and they used to have the Withrow minstrels, and they used to have black faces on the sides, like vaudeville,
Right.
making all this stuff.
Oh my
I mean,
God. It's so, like, it's just shocking now.
yeah, I know,
You know?
but it was back then. It was accepted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the same house. I'm pretty sure.
Some of these photographs are exquisite.
Well, the best ones were likely taken by Uncle Jim Skierman, who was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see the ones that
Never.
he took. I mean, you can see the difference.
Kathy, do you want to go down and lie down for a little while?
Well, I will have to soon. Oh, wait, what's this? Earl Hollis, Elsie Stockwell, Mrs. Hollis. 1 Ione, Jorgen Christensen, Isabel. George Washington's birthday, 1932.
32.
No, are all the people accounted for, so maybe mother's not in there, but it's a memory?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes.
Right, so she's not in there, because it didn't look like her, but I
No.
thought maybe I was wrong. What?
Blackface.
An Arab face, actually.
Arab.
Somebody's dressed up and
Oh, this is one of the parties or something?
I don't know. The script on the back is Major Wayne.
Oh, this is in somebody, yeah.
Yeah, Major Wayne, something, North Carolina, dressed as a wog, Arab votive, it looks like. It looks like there's somebody who's dressed up like a Persian beggar, basically.
Oh my God.
And,
Well, that would
and
not be.
that one. I keep that. So.
I didn't bring this for you. Well, you can take it.
I'm gonna take it. Some of them.
You can take it.
Some of them are. I mean.
Well, your mother has it.
Pictures
Well,
are
or you
beautiful.
said you already have them. You might have all of these. too.
No, you don't. They didn't make copies of pictures.
I mean, look at this picture. Some of
I
them
never
must
saw
be,
it.
what did you say?
Oh, that's
took them?
Petra.
Who?
Who's Petra?
It's in Jordan. It's a really, really, really old trading city that you can only reach through these clefts. And
You know this because
Did you go there?
you've been there, or
Oh, you're
because,
right.
or Dad told you, or?
it's a famous archaeological,
Oh, archaeology.
yeah.
That's
Maybe
very
we should
nice.
write things on the back of it.
Well, it does say, you know, it does.
It does say Petra?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it does.
okay.
And you sure, he said, I thought he was in Palestine and
He was. You're right.
Palestine and Egypt.
But he's told me India also.
And
I mean,
India.
maybe the ship stopped there for a little bit. I don't know.
Gibraltar.
Well, India would be quite a different route for a ship,
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
whereas Palestine and Egypt. are
Maybe I
next
was
door.
wrong.
But I thought there was a lot, you and I got mono summer before my 3rd grade. And no one had ever heard of that before. But Dad had seen a bunch of hepatitis during the war while he was on this ship. So it kind of rung a bell with him, and he went into the library and he figured out that that's what we had. We had infectious mononucleosis, which was, you know.
How did you figure that out? That's pretty,
Well, then you probably
smart.
took some blood tests or whatever. I don't know.
Hmm.
But I know that the only thing, I don't remember so much about you. I know we lived in the same room and all that, but I do remember Dad standing over me with one of his big slippers, saying, "You eat this ice cream or I'm going to paddle your behind."
I thought these might
And
be
you know,
interesting to you.
What girl between 2nd and 3rd grade wouldn't not want to eat ice cream?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So,
Yeah,
that
the sore throat was incredible.
and I remember spitting my saliva out in a can because it hurt so much to
Too much
swallow.
to swallow.
And Gwen tells me recently that Kate, well, she has mono, and then I found out she doesn't really have mono, because I remember Dad saying, all these people that say they have mono, they don't. And so what Kate had was like leading up to that he might get mono.
That's how I met your
And
grandfather.
he had really
You had
bad
mono?
mono too.
I was living downtown Philly, and
And he couldn't get better.
I was sick, and what I was always doing was I had this big bottle of scotch, which had a pump on it to get it out.
Someone gave him.
That was my medicine.
Wow.
So I wasn't getting well on that.
No.
So Berta hails her
mono
dad
is a
down.
virus.
Well, no, I mean, I think I must have said that this guy's really, he keeps getting, he thinks he's better and goes to work and he's flat on his back again, and he said, well, I'm going down to a medical conference next Tuesday or something like that in Philadelphia, I'll check on him. So he did, and he said, you got mono.
Wow.
So.
And then what?
That's
What did you
that's
do
where I
for-
first
So
met
then,
him.
well, then,
Wow.
you know,
He got- all I know was
go to the doctor.
he had cold hands.
And then he tried to go back again to work when he thought he was better, and then he had a relapse. And
Yeah.
finally, Dad said, "Okay, got to either go in the hospital here or go home to Mama, because you need someone all the time." And I would go over every day to bring every night after work to bring him whatever.
Did you threaten to paddle him if you wouldn't eat his ice cream?
No, because he never was that bad. I mean, his throat, I think in the beginning when he was bad, it was the scotch, and it dulled it. But afterwards, he just couldn't get over the hump,
Right.
and it just took a long time. And by the time,
Mono is a really nasty virus.
Mono's
and it
like
takes
that,
a long.
Yeah, it took a long
Yeah.
time.
if you know, I mean, I thought Kate was so sick, and then I'm going, well, how is she doing now?
She couldn't run cross country and have mono. I can tell you that right now.
You know,
No.
well, no, it wasn't cross country. It was this winter that she just got it a month or so ago, and it's like, well, she's taking off 2 weeks for
I wouldn't be going to any
mono.
prom
I said,
either.
there's no way she could go if she had mono. Well, she didn't really have mono. I said, oh. I said, you
It's
know,
a
maybe
blood
that's
test,
what
isn't it? I mean,
my
it's not-
father would say. People said they had mono. Well, it was something that would lead into mono if you didn't do this and that. And so Gwen had gotten
I didn't
something
realize you
to
could bleed into
mono
mono.
or
I didn't
something.
know that. I thought you just you had mono or you didn't have mono.
Well, it's a form of hepatitis.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I've had 2 bouts of. I had mono, and then when I was a sophomore in
Have you-
college,
have you
I
had
had
your-
jaundice hepatitis. So
They,
I can't ever give blood. There's big things all over my, you know.
they check your liver, any tests on that? Now,
The routine blood tests that you take every time you get into a hospital will show liver and kidney function.
okay.
And if, you know,
You have to get into a hospital though to have that done.
I
I don't know. I had, I had a blood test. I haven't seen that, I've just had called in results, but when I had a checkup last fall, I would have thought that with the blood drawn, that if
No,
there
I
was
think it's
something
Berta.
unusual, they would have told me.
I think this is you, Bert. Oh, wait. Says something on the back.
It's Jeannie. But maybe not, because it's such a little thing. Wait a minute. There's something on the back.
Yeah.
Horse Show 53. No, that would have been, I'm thinking it's that's Jeannie. And she would have been about 2 years old or so, 2 or 3.
Okay.
She's got her hair and the round face. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Jeannie.
And
And
the drawing.
remember the picture of she in front of the Devon Candy Committee. She was there and they were doing publicity. She actually had a picture like in the paper and stuff because she happened to be there, and mother was probably one of the heads or something. I don't know.
Right.
Rose Red City in the.
This is a gorgeous picture. I'm
the
gonna
desert
keep
half
these.
as old as time.
What?
These pictures, I'm gonna keep them.
What do
I'm
you
just
mean
gonna
you're
keep them. You don't have to look at them. They're fine, they're fine. You don't want them. Here,
make
let me
copies
show you
of
the
them.
ones that I want. They're none of them are, you know,
Well, maybe
They
we
all
should
seem like-
scan them or something.
they should all, no, I want them.
But
I
my
want
kids
these.
haven't even seen
I
them.
want these.
These, as opposed
Those
to.
are exquisite photographs. I mean, who was it that was the shutterbug?
Jim.
Jim.
Spearman.
Uncle, yeah.
They're
my Uncle Jim.
beautiful. Some of them are. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
they're
all right,
beautiful.
not all of them. But you know, these ones when he wasn't there.
Yeah, but look at the portrait. Look at the. This is a
Yeah.
great shot.
Well, I mean, this was when he was in the service.
I know that wasn't. I'm not saying they're all. Of
The thing
Jim's,
is,
I'm saying
is
they're all
this
great
over-
pictures.
Is this in the United States, or
I
is
guess
it?
it's the States.
You know.
If Jim took him.
Yeah, but no. But see, I don't know. There's some little fuzzy things, and
June 1942,
it says someplace.
Alexandria,
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Damn, what's in Louisiana?
Probably training.
Raleigh.
And all of those have writing on the back.
Yeah, but see, an elephant. What do you
Yeah,
want
it's
an
a great,
elephant
because
for?
it's a great picture. It's so interesting.
What's it?
I want them for their artistic merit. And there's only 1 or 2 pictures that pop up in there, and there's a ton of other pictures.
Oh,
almost
look at
exactly
this.
like
I don't remember seeing
That's
this.
Gibraltar.
Main Street in Gibraltar. Where
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
I don't know where Gibraltar.
Gibraltar is right where it's into Spain, goes into the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
It's right where the Mediterranean opens out
Okay,
into
well,
the
we know he
Atlantic
was
Ocean.
there.
Right. But this picture of pop-up on the top is gorgeous. With the stones, with the paving or whatever that is, mosaic,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is. 1943 it says. Palestine.
Why don't you send me, what's your email address? I'll just send a copy of what I sent.
Caesarea, oh, wow, yeah.
It has,
He was there with a bunch of University of Pennsylvania archaeologists.
What?
Yeah,
It says 1943, it would have been when he was deployed, right?
well, he
No,
was
because
over there.
I think someone told me once that he left shortly before I was born. So I was born in end of March 1943.
Right.
So I think like January, February is when he left.
Okay.
He
So
was in Louisiana in June.
so in 42, that's 42.
No, it's
No,
43,
this is 43.
and it's Palestine.
Yeah, all right, but before that, Louisiana was 42 or something.
Oh, 42, okay.
So he was, he
I don't
was
know
gone.
why I can't just keep these.
You told her.
Why can't I just keep
We
them?
can loan them, but you're taking them out of the States.
So? I don't get the problem. Is anyone gonna really miss them? I think they're beautiful. I wanna frame them and
Let's see.
just do stuff with them. They're just gorgeous shots.
I'm sure you will appreciate me do more with them than we will.
I
But
like
I would feel better with some of them if my kids.
Can you photocopy?
But she wants the real.
I want the original.
No, I said, can we have a photo?
Yes.
Okay, this is Jeannie.
With the notation of what they
With
are.
the notations of what they're. Most of them they're already copies.
This must be more Caesarea. Nope. Jerash. Someone who knows the biblical lands
See,
would know.
Jeannie, she had the house.
Ah, Istanbul.
Now, if I have these pictures, Jeannie must have gotten through all the stuff.
Jaffa.
So, you had these pictures too?
Hmm?
You said that,
I've got piles of old pictures. Probably a lot of them are Biddle pictures as well.
yeah.
I have not been through them thoroughly. They just keep getting stuck in the back of the closet somewhere. So
I've seen that picture your dad.
Where are they? Are they in England?
June
Yep.
42, Alexandria, LA.
Now you are escorting to
Louisiana.
And it looks like
Maybe.
you're gonna go on Saturday?
That's the most
Perhaps
likely
that would
explanation,
be
because
good
the other
For a project?
Alexandria I would think of would be Egypt.
maybe
Here, I mean,
it's a
just,
thought.
you know.
It's a thought. It's certainly a thought. I'm trying to work on one of my plays.
Oh.
I'll have her when she's living.
Dar
Because I've got
Chapel
lot of
at
I've got a number of plays that I need to work on.
1GMR 43.
Anybody looking?
We gotta
at
show
these?
you, Abby in a play.
Oh,
You would like
You
that.
have video?
Yeah, we could, get her,
This is more Petra.
tablet up here.
I would like
Alright.
that. How are Greg and Amy and the kids?
they're good, they're good.
Girls.
And Amy and Ellie both love to perform. And they, their elementary school has somebody in the music department that has really puts on these plays that is musicals. And they both have been in a few, I mean, they're usually in different plays because of their ages.
Right.
And then they've liked it so much that they've done something in the summertime too, and they, go once a week or whatever it is in the summertime, and then put on in September a production. And this last time, I don't even know what it's somebody's first time, it's some little play.
Should I check? 'Cause
Oh,
put more card.
Oh, yeah, what time is it? It's after
3:17.
we came here. You better go down and put another card in
We
there.
came about 2 hours ago.
Are you allowed to keep doing 2 hours on there? What?
No, if it got to be so regular that everybody noticed, no, but
Well, there were no cards around there. You could go to another, you could back up and go to another one. It said 2 hour max, so.
So technically, you're not supposed to be there longer than 2 hours. So if you wanna be really safe about it, then you'd find another spot.
What do I do to get in?
Follow the directions on the keypad downstairs, or you can use the code, which is,
I got too many codes in my head.
oh, it's, okay. Never mind.
It's ring your 511, right?
Well,
Well, you
I
gotta-
mean, where is it outside? I mean,
You'll see, you gotta scroll through the names, you'll see it.
is there an, because I didn't see that. Or call me, Rod.
Well, they'll get in.
The
One way
only
or
reason
another.
we got in was because the mailman, Rod, and said, oh, I forgot, and he went to the car and I was standing there
Right.
and he left the door open, he could hear us
Right.
talking, so he was doing the mail. So
Right.
that's why we didn't, have to do anything.
Right.
So,
Maybe that'll happen again. Sometimes it's, feast or famine with that kind of thing. For some reason, got the code wrong, so I kept punching the wrong code in and I couldn't get in and standing out there for 10 minutes. And then the next day, every time I came up to the door, somebody else was rotating in and out, so it's,
Oh.
and they're starting to get to know me around the building, so know my face, so. Oh, man.
Well, that purple's pretty, isn't it?
It's quite pretty.
It was just starting to open a little bit yesterday, and so it really popped today, I
Really
guess, in
seeping
the
up.
car.
Ta-da!
Does it smell?
Yeah, it does. You wanna
It
sniff?
didn't really smell.
There's too much hyacinth in here already.
Oh, is it? Is it too much for you?
No, it's fine. We're
I
just
don't-
joking because the
I
don't-
Meg came in recently, that's all.
Oh,
Well, Meg
oh,
got
you
some
got-
and
oh,
we
yeah.
had, it's spring,
It-
it's time for it.
I didn't even smell anything in the car until just a few minutes before we got here, so
Right.
it's not a heavy perfume. Sometimes I have some hyacinths in the house and I can hardly stand it. It's really,
It's really sweet.
yeah, or strong, I don't know. You want to lie down, or do you want to lie down here?
No, I'm gonna lie down. Back,
In your room?
yeah, in the room.
Your feet are swollen, huh?
My feet are swollen, yeah.
Yeah. Is that
When I
from,
first get up, I have to be really careful.
do you not feel too much, or is it kind of numb?
It's kind of numb. I think a good part of this is back problems as well as kidney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any dark chocolate thing.
Yeah.
Might go to waste.
Who doesn't appreciate the dark chocolate, but.
Oh, no, that's one that had different insides to them. There should be more than just a couple. I mean, there's another one here. You have those. These are all chocolate, and chocolate in there.
I remember.
You don't desire anything, do you? A jelly bean to suck on?
No.
What
What
can
do you
I?
need, Mom?
No, I guess I won't. I'll just go
Well,
lie
what?
down.
Do what? Bring,
Water with you?
Yeah.
Got it. Actually, do you have, the electrolyte water at your,
Yeah, I do. I have a bottle.
okay. That's easier.
Yeah.
will talking bother you, Kathy?
No.
go? Berta?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Where's the trash?
oh, it's
Or
right here.
maybe there, that's what
That's,
she's got.
that's trash,
But
and
this-
also this is trash.
Okay, I forgot. Yeah, but see, that's recycled, so.
That's good.
Yeah, that was this, we have this, and you may have it in Chicago, I don't know, Aldi, do they have Aldi in Chicago? I like Aldi, it's one of the closest to us, but they have very kind of European type things, and their own brand or something, and
Right.
then they have Italian this, or they have a German this or something, and so I got those. I just put a few in there, and I have some more to take down on Sunday to Gwen's. Right, and I went yesterday, and I meant to get another one of those, and I forgot. Oh my goodness.
That was easy.
Logged in, oh, that's right, I've got it, it's, Kathy's web, I don't know what it is, do you know what it is?
Password.
Her password?
I don't.
Green Rabbit, Kiss Me Off, Wireless Network, Aqua Queen, Snooze, Kiss. Oh, that's good.
She going to bed?
She's very tired.
Don't bother her now. I think she did very well. She did very well.
Yeah. She slept pretty well last night, I think, part of it. Is she really going to talk to my mom?
She did.
Oh, jeez. Berta? We're going to the doctor tomorrow.